How to Transform Your Life by John. Most, if not all of us, have this dream where life just shapes itself around us, being the way we desire it to be. The desired outcome of this dream is that we will always be happy because life will never challenge us and that we are in complete control. Of course, reality is different and life seems at times to challenge us constantly. So how do we handle it? We must recognise that happiness is transitory, and in recognising this fact, we should also realise it is okay not to be happy all the time. Not being happy, however, is not necessarily the same as being unhappy and feeling miserable or depressed. Those two are transitory states, although to be fair, it is hard to remember this fact when one feels unhappy, miserable or depressed. The best feeling of all is peace. Inner peace. In inner peace we recognise the transitory state of all things, of all feelings. With inner peace we may still feel happy or sad at times, however they remain only for a brief period as we always, with practice, return to inner peace, which is in its own way a type of happiness. I have only ever played squash a few times and it was many years ago. However, over the years I have realised that there is a direct relationship between the game of squash and life, at least as I understand them. In the squash court there is a T-square. This is where the person who plays the first shot stands. Their job is to try and stay there and maintain control of the court by winning each service. Consequently, an experienced person in the T-square has their opponent running all over the squash court whilst they administer the game in the way they wish. So here is how it relates to life. The person who controls the T-square has inner peace and controls the game, which is life. The other player has to run all over the court trying to get the shot which will give them control of the T-square. This is life to the majority of people. We don't realise it because we spend so much time reacting to situations created by others, and therefore we never occupy our T-square. The person who controls the T-square controls the court, the shots, and how hard the other player has to work. All the other less experienced player can do is try to keep up. When you are not in control of the T-square, all you can ever do is react. In life, we never, or almost never, make the best decisions when we feel life is spiralling out of control. In finding inner peace, one tends to make much better decisions and cause less problems in the process. It is not a guarantee that life will always be smooth. However, if we can remain on our individual T-squares and not allow others in life to take control, then consequently we can live a life of relative balance and peace. This doesn't mean a boring life. It is a life filled with inspiration and inner strength, where you have the inner knowing to carry you forward in the way that you wish. So how do we find this elusive inner peace? Well, it is something you have been doing from the very beginning of your life. Breathing. From your first breath to your last influences how you feel and how you live your life. Let me explain how my life experience led me to this conclusion. Until adulthood, I could not breathe through my nose properly. I was a habitual mouth breather. Of course, this meant nothing to me then because I didn't know any different. I'd had operations on my nose, but none made any difference. As an adult, I had a sporting accident where my nose got broken. This time, surgery had moved on significantly, and the surgeon not only fixed my broken nose, he sorted breathing through my nose too. I had never experienced anything like it. All this oxygen floating around my brain, it felt literally divine. I had never felt so good. This piqued my interest in breathing, and as I watched others, I realised that most people take breathing for granted and never think about it. A lot of people shallow breathe or take short breaths, very close to fight or flight breathing. Consequently, their minds and bodies carry a tension which can manifest itself in many ways, and it is not the healthiest way to be. For me, as I researched and taught myself to breathe even better, when I want to relax quickly or go further into a semi-meditative state, I simply breathe in slowly through my nose and then slowly out through my nose. Exhaling through my mouth is much less effective for me. I practiced standing upright and relaxed, imagining my inward breath was slowly coming from the floor, passing up through my body to the tip of my head, and then reversing the process as I exhaled. It may be safer to stand next to a chair so that you can have something to hold on to should you become dizzy, for it can be a heady experience. Of course, it does take practice, for our lungs may not be used to deep breathing. However, it really worked for me. It becomes through time a feeling of serenity which does not require any external substance or reliance on others. It only requires the air we breathe, and then we find ourselves on the T-square of life. It truly doesn't require a guru, financial wealth or external circumstances. It only requires a desire and subsequent practice to bring a different type of wealth into your life, and it costs nothing. However, the rewards are enormous. Thank you for listening. Happy breathing.